Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back in today with another fantasy football video. In today's video, I'm going over the Week 11 tight end rankings from 1 all the way through 20 and giving you guys an explanation of why I have guys placed where they are. Now, before I get in the video, I'd like to give you guys a word from my sponsor, OverlayDFS.com. OverlayDFS.com is my favorite way to play DFS on all of the interwebs. Now, Overlay DFS has a couple of games you can play, but my favorite is the progressive game type. Now, there are entry points at a lot of different levels. As you can see here, there's a $2.5 game, a $22 game, and a $109 game. Now, in these games, the entry, when you win and become in that top 10%, you get 9 times your buy-in. $2.5 turns into $18. $22 turns into $180, and $109 turns into $900. But the specialty comes in here. It's that progressive bonus, and that is $1,038 for the $2.5 game. For the $22 game, it's over $7,000, and for the $109 game, it's over $2,600. And last week, I saw someone hit that beautiful 12-0 to claim that progressive bonus. Now, how it works is very much simple here. All you got to do is you see a bunch of matchups on your screen. You got to make 12 picks plus 3 alternate picks. So right here, Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson. Who do you think will score more fantasy points? They're playing against each other in real life, so I would go with Lamar Jackson. Now, there is also something that I really like to do here that I think is a secret bit of strategy that seems to work a lot for me. So you scroll down here, and you're going to pick a wide receiver to go with your quarterback. So if I wanted to go, if I really believed that it was Deshaun Watson, I would go Deshaun Watson and Mr. D on Dre Hopkins. But you could also go here and put another wide receiver with another quarterback. It is very much that easy, or match your quarterback with your tight end because you think they are both going to perform. So please make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com. They have gotten rid of the way that you can only play just one entry. Now you can do up to 10 entries in these games. So make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com. Link down below in the description. And we are back. Make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com. Link down below in the description. Let's get right into it. Week 11 tight end rankings. At number 1, we have Mr. Hunter Henry going against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Hunter Henry has been playing phenomenal every game since he's came back off that injury. He's been playing fucking phenomenal. And in this game against the Kansas City Chiefs, against a defense that is fucking atrocious, I believe that Hunter Henry will be able to go out there and ball the fuck out against the Kansas City Chiefs in Mexico. I really like Hunter Henry this week, and that's why he's ranked my number 1 tight end in all of fantasy football. At number 2, we have Travis Kelce in that exact same game going against the LA Chargers in Mexico. Now, I really do believe that Travis Kelce is also going to perform in this game. I believe that this is going to be a high-scoring matchup on Monday night. Now, Travis Kelce obviously has not been performing up to everyone's liking since the beginning of the season. Everyone really believed that he would be the number 1 tight end in fantasy football, and he just has not been performing. It's been pretty much Austin Hooper, but obviously now Austin Hooper is dead and deceased, and you can't throw a dead man into your lineup. And Hunter Henry and Travis Kelce are going to play great in this game. I really believe it is going to be a back and forth game. Like I said, I think that Travis Kelce fits quite well at number 2. I would rank him number 1, but I really think Hunter Henry might have more upside in this game. At number 3, we have Mr. Mark Andrews going against the Houston Texans. Now, Mark Andrews last week balled out of control, 2 tutties, a shit ton of yards, and played amazing against the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, this week he's playing up against a tougher opponent in the Houston Texans, but I really believe that Mark Andrews will still be able to perform. Lamar Jackson loves seeing Mark Andrews in the end zone, and he loves throwing the rock his way. So I believe Mark Andrews will be able to hop in that end zone this week and perform for the Baltimore Ravens. At number 4, we have Mr. Darren Waller going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, we saw last week Mark Andrews ball out of control against the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe the same thing could be true this week for Darren Waller. Derek Carr loves throwing the ball to Darren Waller, who's out there on pretty much 100% of the snaps. You heard that out there correctly. 100% of the snaps. He's in there on pretty much every single goddamn play. Darren Waller, I don't know how he does it. He's just always out there, and Derek Carr is always throwing the ball his way. Last week, obviously, he disappointed against the LA Superchargers, but I really believe that Darren Waller this week will be able to have a bounce back game against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are fucking atrocious on defense. At number 5, we have Mr. Zachary Ertz going against the New England Patriots. Now, Zach Ertz has been just up and down all season. Some games he plays great, other games he plays like shit, and it's very hard to figure it out. But it's hard to rank him outside of the top 5 when there's not really many tight ends that you're going to even want to be starting. There's much of a tight end roulette once you get past number 4. From number 5 on, it is very, very dicey. Zach Ertz is a guy that Carson Wentz clearly loves to target in years prior, but this year it doesn't seem like he is all that much of Carson Wentz's guy. But with Alshon Jeffrey likely missing this game and being ruled out against the New England Patriots, I believe that Zach Ertz will be able to get an uptick in targets in this game. At number 6, we have Mr. Drop My Drawers and Let Us See My Third Leg, Greg Olsen, going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Atlanta Falcons offense is now, their offense is good, but their defense is fucking terrible. Greg Olsen and Kyle Allen should be able to run a straight-up train on this Atlanta Falcons defense in a super, what I perceive as high-scoring matchup. I believe that Greg Olsen will be able to go out there and perform on Sunday night. Or not Sunday night, just on fucking Sunday. It's just a random 1 o'clock fucking game. At number 7, we have Gerald Everett going against the Chicago Bears. Now, if Jared Goff has done one goddamn good thing right this year, it is feed Gerald Everett when Brandon Cooks has been missing. Obviously, he's had a good game, a bad game, but I think that Gerald Everett in this game against the Chicago Bears, against a tougher defense, will be used heavily. Jared Goff has looked fucking atrocious this year in comparison to what a lot of people believed he would do and what he got paid to do. He's making one of the most amount of monies at the quarterback position and is playing like shit. Gerald Everett should be great in this game against the Chicago Bears. That's why he's ranked number 7, but he obviously has a bit of a gamble because of the fact that fucking Jared Goff looks so bad. At number 8, we have Mr. Eric Ebron going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the return of Big Dick Nick in this game is going to be prevalent for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the Jaguars do not have any fucking tight ends you're going to want to be starting, and the Indianapolis Colts actually do. Both Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle slotting in at 8 and 9. Jacoby Brissett makes his triumphant return after they had to deal with Brian Hoyer for the last couple of weeks, and I really believe that the Indianapolis Colts offense is going to look a whole lot better, whether T.Y. Hilton is there or not. T.Y. Hilton's probably missing this game, and Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle are going to get a shit ton of targets. To me, I like Eric Ebron more, but the last couple of weeks, Jack Doyle has been safer. If you want the safer option, you go with Jack Doyle. If you're feeling a bit riskier, feeling a bit dangerous, you're feeling that big game out of Eric Ebron that I'm feeling, I like him at number 8, and at number 9, like I said, I got Jack Doyle. At number 10, we have Jared Goff going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Jared Cook, I may have said Jared Goff, but we got Jared Cook going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Jared Cook really has not done shit this fucking season. He has been shitting in those Huggies every single week. But this week, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in a high-scoring matchup, those cannons are going to be firing a shit ton of times in Tampa Bay. I believe that Jared Cook will be able to find the end zone this week, but it is a huge gamble because Jared Cook really just has not been performing at all this season. At number 11, speaking of not fucking performing, we have O.J. Howard in that same game going up against the New Orleans Saints. And like I said, I believe this is going to be a high-scoring matchup. Those cannons are going to be firing rapidly. Boom, 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 boom. Touchdown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Will it be to O.J. Howard? That is the fucking question. If O.J. Howard is able to find that end zone, then I better believe that he is a top 12 tight end this week. If Jameis Winston goes blind again like he did in London and is not able to throw the fucking ball at all, then you better believe O.J. Howard is going to take a shit right in your goddamn lineup. But that is the risk I am willing to take, and that is why he's ranked number 11. And my final number 12 pick, obviously there's still 20, but my number 12 pick, final top 12 pick, is Kyle Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. It is almost Christmas time, and Kyle Rudolph is starting to get off out there and ball out of control. Missing out on Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins throws the other ball to Kyle fucking Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph made a catch like Odell Beckham in the end zone last week. He reached back like 1-3, as Drake likes to say, and Kyle Rudolph in this game against the sorry-ass Denver Broncos should be able to perform very, very, very well. Now on to 13 through 20. So if you guys have enjoyed thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. At number 13, we have Licky Amagasicki, Mike Gesicki going against the Buffalo Bills. And if I know anything about Matt, I almost called him Matt Fitzpatrick. That is Ryan Fitzpatrick. It is the fact that he has been throwing the ball to Mike Gesicki. And I believe this week against the Buffalo Bills, who could allow some points to this tight end and who may be susceptible for getting fucked by the Miami Dolphins, because we are on a goddamn roll. And I believe that Mike Gesicki is going to find that end zone this week. If he does it, his ranking goes from 13 to probably fucking 3,000. But that's the bet I'm willing to take this week. At number 14, we have T.J. Hawkin, not looking so much like T.J. Hawkin God. T.J. Hawkinson going against the Dallas Cowboys. T.J. Hawkinson hasn't done shit in the last couple of games, and he is now with a terrible quarterback in Jeff Driscoll. I shouldn't say terrible, but terrible in comparison to the gunslinger, Mr. Matthew Stafford. Now, T.J. Hawkinson with a younger quarterback. Usually they like to target the tight end, but last week, that just didn't happen. T.J. Hawkinson wasn't getting targeted heavily, and I am very worried about that, so that's why he's ranked at number 14. At number 15, we have the other tight end in that matchup, and that is Jason Witten going against the Detroit Lions. Now, Jason Witten might as well get his ass back in the booth because he walks at about 3 fucking miles an hour. But what we know about Mr. Dicky Dak Prescott is that he still likes throwing the ball to Jason Witten, and Jason Witten has been pretty solid thus far this season and a pretty safe pick. So if you like being fucking safe, you like not being silly, you like wrapping that goddamn Willie, you play Jason Witten in your lineup, ranked at number 15. At number 16, we have big man Darren Fells going against the Baltimore Ravens. Darren Fells with 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Darren Fells, a man who's been balling out of control and fucking all of them hoes against the Baltimore Ravens. Darren Fells should be in for a pretty good game. But obviously, with touchdowns, with scoring so many touchdowns in 2 fucking games, we're bound to see one game where he tapers off, and that might be this game against the Baltimore Ravens. They do have multiple tight ends on that roster that do get the rock, but Darren Fells has emerged as the number 1 tight end on that team. If he finds that end zone, ranking him at 16 won't look too bad. At number 17, we have Tyler Eifert going against the Oakland Raiders, and Tyler Eifert has been performing pretty well, actually, the last couple of games. Obviously, on the season, he has really not done shit, but you didn't draft him really to do anything. He's much more of a guy you've picked up, and this week against the Oakland Raiders, this should be a great matchup for him. If Ryan Finley is able to figure it out, he will be great, but he's fucking Ryan Finley, so I highly doubt it. At number 18, we have Mr. Ryan Griffin going against the Washington Redskins. And Ryan Griffin has actually been performing pretty well. Mr. Sammy Mono loves throwing that ball, slinging that fucking rock to the tight end position. And Chris Herndon is out for the year on the IR in a wheelchair. And Ryan Griffin has been targeted a lot by Sam Darnold, so I like Ryan Griffin this week against the terrible Washington Redskins. At number 19, we have Noah Fant going against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Noah Fant is just about okay, but Brandon Allen is a rookie quarterback, and rookie quarterbacks tend to target that tight end. So I believe that Noah Fant could do something in this game, given you're really praying to the fantasy gods up above to please, Lord, fantasy Lord, bless me with a touchdown this week. At number 20, we have Ross Dwelley going against the Arizona Cardinals. Ross Dwelley is the backup for George Kittle. George Kittle is doubtful in this game. I highly fucking doubt he's going to take the field. And I think that Ross Dwelley might actually be pretty good in this game. He scored 6 and 5 points the last 2 weeks. In George Kittle's absence, I think he will be good, but he's obviously a guy that you're going to be relying heavily on that touchdown for in this game against the Arizona Cardinals. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, if at any point you ended up chuckling, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. I love each and every single one of you motherfuckers so much for watching all these videos. Have a great rest of your day. One more video coming out later. Goodbye, my friends. Bang!